without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into it. Who do we have here? Hold on. Here we go. Let me make sure I get it up. Uh-oh. There we go. What is going on, sir? How are you doing this evening?
On, man?
Nothing much. Nothing much. Hey, I mean, you saw I had a few technical difficulties just trying to get things rolling. So how are you doing?
The interwebs, dude. I'm doing good, man. Freaking, I got my buddy and my girl and his girl in the other room. He actually fishes the Bassmaster Opens, and they're going to the Classic. So we're gonna eat dinner after this. So I get to hang out with my buddy. Got my boat all rigged, and I'm going fishing tomorrow if the world treats me right. We'll see.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you go fishing just about every day, right?
I wish I would. See, that's one of the big misconceptions, dude. I actually work all the time, and I fish like 2 or 3 days a week. 3 if I'm lucky. 2 usually. 1 no matter what, or I lose my damn mind. But
gotcha. So I guess you're saying you're working, you're fishing. So I guess you're working more than you're fishing. But I mean, I guess in the scheme of things, we have to consider you a YouTuber because you have almost 100,000 subs. Gotta give a big shout out to that. So you've been doing your thing for a while.
Way a while, dude. If I was smart, I would have quit this game years ago, dude. Because a lot of these guys get to 100K a lot faster than me. Yeah. I've been doing this since I think 2009, 2010. This is how long I've been doing this, dude. I was on Google Video, which was the precursor before they bought YouTube. Yeah. And so Google had like a video streaming service and you could post and kind of use it as cloud storage. And then they bought YouTube and everything transitioned over. So that was, I think, 2010, actually.
Wow, 2010. Yeah, so that's back in the day. That's back when things kind of
call me old, bro.
That's kind of when things are getting started. So let's see if you if something like this might look familiar.
Oh,
do you know that guy right there?
He's kind of a douche, but I know he can flip pretty decent.
He can. Well, let's take a look and see. Can he? Let's.
The song of my people, dude.
Gotta love that sound right there.
Mikey caught a 10-pounder. Finally, baby. Finally. Oh my gosh.
We gotta see it. We have to see it.
Fish.
That ain't a 10-pounder, I'll tell you that much. It was a great big one, but I think that was Mike's ego and Mike's desire of wanting more than what he got.
Oh my gosh. Look at that, man. Oh, I'm flipping it in on custom bait. It's the big mama with the new flipping hook, and I'm using the small one. And that thing held up, man, with the bait keeper on.
Dude, the wind was ripping so hard that day. There was like 2 to 3 footers. I was just inside, like an outside line, and it was still just freaking rolling, bro.
Man, so that sound sounded like a squealing pig is what I like to call it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what they look like, dude. They start scooting all over the place, bouncing around like a freaking pinball machine. That's when Okeechobee was just an animal, dude. That lake, I had so much fun. It's like any of those good lakes, man. It will break your heart over and over again, but then you get those 1 or 2 days where it's just everything comes together, and it's the best feeling in the world because you got all that failure built up, and then it finally just syncs up, dude, and you're living right. It was a fun place to fish, and I got out there when that flipping bite was really it was known, but not really common knowledge, and so. I don't know, like there's a few things I'm really decent at when it comes to fishing, and I do have an affinity for reading that grass, and dude, that place was just a circus for that. There were so many places you could do that. The fish were in so many places. Like you could fish areas where you'd never see another boat all day on a Saturday. It was a crazy, crazy place for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, because I think this was about 2012 or something like that. Yeah. And so, but that sound, you don't really hear that sound too much these days.
No, you don't, dude. Unless you're watching my channel, because I chase that sound, bro. Like, I still chase that around. And actually, it's funny. I'm on Gunnersville now a lot because I live up in Alabama. And these guys can flip pretty good, but I do have a little bit of an edge because we used to do so much flipping. And there are definitely some untapped resources, I guess you'd call them, when it comes to some of the flipping bites around here.
Yeah. Man. So how are things on Gunnersville? I mean, are you catching some good ones up there too?
I haven't even been out, dude. I've been in Florida for freaking 2 months. And so I just got home. I'm catching up on work. I really want to get out there. They should be like kind of at the tail end of that pre-spawn and then going and staging, moving up, and the grass is going to grow. It's friggin' 20 some degrees out right now, but it's going to happen.
Gotcha. Yeah. So as far as that squealing sound of that braid, I mean, in a way, that's something that I kind of miss. And really, I remember my friend, he's from Florida. He had fished Okeechobee, and he always used to talk about a guy named Mikey Balzz. And I was like, Mikey Balzz? I mean, what are you talking about? Like, what are you watching on YouTube? So I mean, when I started watching it, I was like, oh, okay, I guess the name kind of fits because you're always carrying around those big rods and and you know all of that sound and ripping those fish out of the weeds like that. So I mean, so what do you think about now as far as the whole forward-facing sonar debate with now people going away from that style of fishing and spending that more time offshore and all of that kind of stuff? I mean, because you're running what do you run? Do you run Garmin?
I have all Lowrance stuff.
Lowrance, that's right, Lowrance. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Going from that flipping bite, that 50, 60, 70-pound braid to offshore with that 6-pound line, because you're still catching some 10s and stuff out there with it.
I mean, I still always will hunt down a flipping bite, and I do it every year on Gunnersville. So like I don't really feel like I've like transitioned too much. But one thing, like I was talking about with that flipping bite at the time, it was very, I wouldn't call it like breaking through, but it was definitely something that was new. And I've always been obsessed. I love new stuff, dude. And I've always been obsessed with like learning new fishing stuff. I'm never the best at it, but I love the process of learning it and figuring it out because I like to see how these fish behave. So I love the forward facing. I mean, it's like looking in an aquarium, understanding how the fish react. I think there's a lot of misconceptions on how easy it is. And it's definitely going to get harder as we move forward with more and more guys using it. For me, it's been fun, though, because what I've found is we're tapping into fish that maybe one, we never knew were there, or two, even if we knew they were there, we couldn't catch them. So it's definitely a whole new like level of experimentation. And it's interesting, too, to kind of relate to the flipping. Like a lot of this forward facing sonar stuff is like twaddling and dumping, you're dangling your doodle out there to like one fish. That one fish doesn't react, it does something, and either you make an adjustment to try to catch it or you keep moving. So it has a lot of relations to that flipping, that make as many drops as you can, put your bait as like in front of as many fish as you can. And so it sort of fits what I really like to do. It's just, I got 8-pound freaking fluorocarbon and 12-pound braid instead of 65, dude.
Yeah. And look, I had to change the poll question. I kind of messed up. I put, would you rather be a YouTuber or a pro? And the choices were yes or no. So
you're keeping it tight tonight, dude. It's only freaking Tuesday too. You got a long way to go, bro.
Oh man, yeah. So guys, the poll is back active in the chat. So would you rather be a YouTuber or a pro?
Yes.
They're back in there getting active.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and get into that. So I saw whenever you made that initial video, and you were talking about like, hey guys, I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And so I was like, wow, this will be very, very interesting, because I kind of was thinking the same thing last year. And what I did is went ahead and signed up and fished the BFLs, because everybody was talking about regionals. Hey, man, I want to make it to regionals. So I was like, sounds like something that I can get some content from it. So I signed up and I went and started fishing the BFL. So when I saw you with that same thing, I was like, wow, this will be very interesting to see. So what was your thought process whenever you were first thinking about, making that step over?
Well, let me ask you a question first. How'd the BFLs go?
So my goal was to make the regionals. To be in the regionals, you have to be in the top 45. So tournament 1, I think I was like in 90. I think I came in 91st place, and it was on my home lake.
Ouch.
Like 10-something pounds with either 3 fish or 4 fish, I believe. So
that ain't so bad.
Yeah, I think I had 3 fish and I had 10-something pounds. So I was on the right caliber of fish, but just didn't get that limit. So the next lake, I can't remember. I think I dropped to like in the 30s, like 31st or something like that. To the second tournament. Then I moved my way up, but I ended in the like 41 or something like that. So I made the regionals.
You made it, dude. Congratulations.
Your partner made the regionals. And so with the thing with that, so once I made the regionals, my motivation was kind of gone at that point, because it was like I had, that's what I went to do, was just to see if I could make the regionals. And then I was like telling my friends, like, yeah, I'm not going to drive all the way up there and spend all that time pre-fishing. And that really, I just wanted to see if I could qualify and make it to the regionals. So yeah, so I went ahead and fished it, and yeah, the regionals didn't really go too well for me. And I guess we can kind of get into that too, about kind of what styles and different things, like why somebody may be a YouTuber, or why somebody would want to fish team tournaments and, random draw tournaments, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so back to you. So what was your thought process in the whole thing?
Well, I'm glad I asked you about your story, because it kind of lines up with mine in a way. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about my initial thoughts, is I kind of wanted to set a goal, kind of like what you were talking about. Maybe not a regional, but my goal was I'd like to fish them, see if I can compete, and 2, see if it's a good platform for developing different content, different narrative content, inside scoops on, tournament fishing as it is, kind of just bring a little different perspective, but use it as a sort of jumping off point. So I had a competitive goal, and then I had a content goal. And that's kind of how I framed it up, because I think like anything, you got to sort of chunk things off. Otherwise, you're just floating around in the ether, dude, and you don't know where you're going, Exactly. So my thought was, there's a cost to this. I looked at the schedule. I guess it would have been, I want to say it was the Central that I would have fished. And the schedule was Guntersville, Smith Lake, Chickamauga. And for anybody that doesn't know, basically that's all within about 2 hours of Huntsville, Alabama, where I live. Okay. And so the overhead cost would have been minimized, because I only needed a place to stay at Chickamauga. I could stay at home for the rest of them. Okay. So I was kind of analyzing, I'm like, if there's a window to try to do this, everything's about money when it comes down to it. Exactly. We have so much of it. It's a finite resource. So how do I efficiently approach this in a way that I can to also at the same time achieve my goal? So that was sort of the thing bouncing around in my head. Now there's a lot of other little factors that I ended up analyzing and sort of getting in depth with to make a decision. But that's how I initially went in. I was interested in the schedule. It was local. It provided an opportunity. It fit into some goals that I have for myself. And that was sort of what jumped me into the whole process of looking at and reflecting whether I should fish the Toyotas.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so that was kind of the initial thought of it. And that was pretty much the same thing for me. I was like, I can go ahead and use that to get content. But one of the things that I started noticing is a lot of the BFL content and tournament content like that, people didn't really seem like they watched that much. And I'm not saying just from my channel, just looking at other channels and things like that. Did you kind of notice that, or what do you think?
I noticed there were sort of 2 different shades of it. One, there was like the standard, people not watching it. Let me frame things up too, dude. I have, I think, just under 100,000 subscribers. I'm not big time. So
hey, wait a minute. That's big time. That is definitely big time when you're hitting that 100,000.
In the bigger frame of things, it isn't, and I'll pull anywhere from 5,000 to 20,000 views off a video. So I'm not expecting or shooting to get anything viral. I'm looking for content that for guys who want to watch my stuff, to give them sort of a different flavor and a different thing. Plus, you do content, dude. Half the game and half the battle is keeping yourself interested. Right. Because if you're not interested, you're not credible. You're not making cool stuff because you don't give a shit. You gotta be invested in it. You gotta be invested in the process. So I guess my perspective is one, I think I do have a maybe slightly different perspective or framework of looking at things, because I've been doing this for a really long time. I was here for the transition to YouTube. So I thought I could bring something, maybe, I guess you could say, a different look at what was happening, a look from someone who's outside, who doesn't want to be a professional angler, who's doing it to be competitive, but at the same time get the content. And I thought maybe, I do videos super organic. I don't know where it would go. I don't know what I'd end up talking about, what I'd end up focusing on, but just those interactions you have with the tournament directors, the other anglers, renting a place, maybe sleeping in your truck at the boat ramp. I thought all those kinds of things might provide for an interesting take on the process.
Yeah, the vlogging style.
And if it led to views, great. If it didn't, it'd be a one hit and done thing, you know?
Right.
So that, I mean, that's the game we play, dude. It's a little bit of lotto, a little bit of thought. So
gotcha. All right. So let's take a look at another quick clip here. This was kind of, after you had went through that.
This is when I decided, yeah.
Yeah. Let's take a look and see what you.
I smoked them that day too, dude. That was on Gunnersville. It was a good day, dude.
Oh, okay. All right. So you are doing a little something out there on Gunnersville. All right. So let's take a listen and see what you had to say.
And I don't know if it's the right decision, but I think my logic and my basis is pretty good. One of my goals was this. I'm not going to fish like a pro. I don't want to be a freaking hashtag pro, dude. Like there's very little money in that. It's stress. You're running around all the time. I really want to focus on the videos. However, I do want to check that box as kind of a bucket list thing. I'd like to fish like the Toyota Series or the Opens or something, just to be able to say like, hey, I did that. Maybe I failed miserably, but I did that. That was cool. I can say that I did it. However, I don't think it's the right time. One of the things that really stands out to me, and a lot of it's floof, like yappity, like internet stuff, but there's a lot of volatility going on with every tournament series. I don't care if it's MLF or Bass or the Elite Series or the Opens. There's a lot of things changing and a lot of moving parts right now. And
all right, so let's go ahead and stop right there. So one of the things that you mentioned at first was having those goals in place. And that's kind of what you were just mentioning also. So having some type of goal in place. And do you think a lot of people that go into fishing, the Toyotas, the BFLs, like they're looking to, hey, I'm going to take this thing all the way to the top? And what is this? So when you, after the regionals is what, All-American, and then eventually you go to,
I think you get the Toyota Series Championship, and then I think you might be able to secure a slot in the Red Crest.
Right.
I don't know exactly how it works.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. So like I said, my goal was regional, so I didn't really look too far past that. But yeah. So that Red Crest thing. Do you think a lot of people that go into it, that is what they are? They go into it with that aspiration, or that, hey, that is where I'm headed to, or is it, like how for me, I just had the goal of just qualifying for the regionals. What do you think?
Well, I had an interesting conversation with JT Kenny, my buddy. I think you might even end up posting. You're going to show a little bit of video from it,
right?
And he brought up a very clear point, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Like, you're not going to be successful unless you go into it with the head game of, I'm going to beat everyone with a wet noodle. I'm going to win. I'm going to be successful. Because that's one thing, I guess, in my life, I'm a little more apprehensive or conserved, I guess, with certain things. I'm a little too logical, and I try to kind of isolate that emotional thing. And I think it does hurt my fishing. It hurts you in different things that you're like trying to be successful in, because unless you're like full send, unless you're like balls to the wall, you're always questioning something, or you're always holding something back. And one of the great points that he made is like, unless you are obsessed thinking about fishing 24/7, 365, unless you believe you can win. And I mean, like a strong faith, confidence, however you want to describe it, you're not going to be successful, even to the point of just top tens and that. And so that was a sort of reality check for me, because I kind of thought about, my goals. Yeah, you want to do well, but I don't really have a goal to win or to be a professional angler. I want to see if I can hang, but that's not really at that elevated level of saying, I'm going to do this until my hands bleed. I'm going to do this until I can't move my arm. I'm going to make as many casts. I'm going to, just really put myself out there. And that's the mentality. And I think that's why a lot of these young guys are winning, dude, is because they go in there and their heads are clear. There's nothing else on their minds. They're full send into what they're doing. And that mentality is a successful mentality. It's also the mentality that leads you to complete bottomed out failure. But that is how you win, dude. That is how you're successful. Like, if you don't believe from the start, nobody else is going to get you there. I think my dog's trying to escape. I'm going to let him out real quick.
All right. All right.
But that made a lot of sense to me, man. That was, when he said that, it really did click for me. So I think, I don't know, like we're all always working on ourselves and that. And I think one thing that I need to develop is saying, hey, I have enough confidence to do this and win. and that will actually be a part of me trying to achieve my goals. Maybe I do, maybe I don't, but there is a sort of mental game that I don't think I have as of yet, and I got to find it in myself and figure it out and implement it before I go play with the big guys, you know?
Right. All right. So let's take a look at another portion of this real quick. Let's take a look and see a little bit more of that thought process.
Really liked fishing those little tournaments. And in the end, when I really kind of analyzed my goals surround getting content for you guys, highlighting different ways to catch fish, different processes in catching fish, kind of that emotion that goes into it, and the accessibility of fishing some of these local derbies, maybe fishing an ABT or something like that and going a little bit bigger, offers a lot more value when I capture that content than having like 3 big splooshes and you're done kind of thing, you know? And just the architecture, the way that you actually shoot stuff. I don't know how much you guys know about like shooting the videos and that. The sort of the process would be much more fluid, much better. It would turn out a lot better to do some of these local events versus trying to do that multi-day kind of travel, you know, make sure everything's in line plus shooting video kind of thing. And maybe I'll get there at some point, but I just don't think it's right. Like at
All right, so there we go. There we go.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Watching yourself on freaking YouTube, I don't know if you get this, but it's freaking weird, dude. You got to be a little vain to shoot, like, and have a little bit of an ego to like shoot videos. But I try to watch my stuff as little as possible because I hate watching me talk, dude. It just freaking drives me nuts.
Yeah, look, I saw you watching and analyzing, like you're like, oh man, what am I about to say? Am I gonna say?
I mean, I know what I say, but so that's the thing, though, dude. Honesty is the best policy, dude.
Right?
So if your shit is like what you actually feel and what you actually think, like there's never going to be a problem with that. You're going to have people troll you. You're going to have people disagree with you. But in the end, if that's what you feel and that's what you think, then you just move forward. It is what it is. You know, I'm not so much worried about that. It's just weird watching yourself, dude. I don't know. It's just a self-conscious thing, you know?
Look, Chris says, I think this is the most time Mikey has ever watched of YouTube.
So let me put this to you straight. That is my buddy on the Bass Opens trolling me from the other room, dude, because he knows I never watch YouTube, dude.
Oh goodness, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, and so yeah, I mean that whole process, when you first thought about it, when you went kind of like through the thought process, and now what you said in the end was pretty much the same thing that I was, the same process that I went through. I wasn't thinking about hopping into the Toyotas. But even though it was the BFLs, it was still the exact same thought process about just analyzing things and started asking people like, hey man, what do you fish for? I mean, are you fishing to go pro, or are you fishing because you want to get out there and hold up that $100,000 or $300,000 check? Is it about fun? Like what is it about? And so that kind of began the process for me of thinking like, what am I really looking to get out of the whole thing? And in the end, like you said, I mean, it's the enjoyment that you can find in whatever avenue that you decide to go down.
Well, and you know what? I think that brings up a good point. Like we're real people, dude. Like we shoot some videos and stuff, but we're not rich. Like we're not like crazy famous stuff. Like we do this, we enjoy it, we put out content and stuff like that. But one of the big disconnects that's occurring is this used to be a very easy sort of threshold to cross, right? You got Joe Blow from some town in freaking the Southeast. He's decent at fishing. He enjoys it. He gets some money together. He goes fishes a derb. Like it's getting to a point with tournament fishing where that threshold is not just a choice, not just like, hey, I'm going to give this a try. The overhead costs, the clickiness of it too. There's a lot more boundaries being put up. And I think that's where a lot of these tournament series are seeing some of their dropout in viewership in that, not only with the FFS stuff, but the accessibility level. Like the cool thing about bass fishing is it was never pro baseball. It was never the NFL. It was always accessible to us. If you put some dollars together, if you had the motivation, you could make that happen. But there's a lot more there's just a lot more thresholds, a lot more boundaries to cross in order to do that. I think that's another reason why you see a lot of these younger kids in there, is if they can get some money together, they're not withheld by family. They're not paying a house mortgage kind of deal, and they can do that. And if they can get enough technology together, they can do that too. But that access level and that ability to sort of make that choice is becoming less and less sort of like the common man's opportunity,
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And real quick, let's take a listen to JT's advice to you. So he had a few things that he had to say.
He called me out, bro.
And he was kind of brutally honest.
He was brutally honest.
He just started off with a jab right to the nose, like it gave you a nosebleed right from the beginning. Let's listen to JT.
Like, throw some advice at me, dude.
So you're specifically talking about what we would reference now as Toyota Series on the MLF side, Bassmaster Open on the Bass side. That's okay.
That and pro-ish level.
Correct. Right. So the stepping stones to get to the upper tier of either one. So first thing, you're probably not going to make it.
Thanks, bro.
But it's just being honest.
That's what I'm looking for.
And this has nothing to do with Mikey Balzz. There is a very small percent of people that actually make it. But that being said, there is a huge amount of people that have an absolute blast, make lifelong friends, lifelong memories. So it's not all peaches and cream, but it's not all terrible either. It's like, if you really love it, you wake up in the morning and all you can think about is competitive bass fishing, is tournament bass fishing. Then you need to go fish the Toyotas or the Bassmaster Opens or whatever flips your switch. Like, if you wake up in the morning and boom, and the first thing you think about is catching the next bass. You may be one, and the last thing you think about going to bed at night is how you're catching the next bass, and every minute in between. Everything else is just garbage in your mind. You may be the 1 percentile candidate that actually is going to make it through and make a career in it.
All right, so there we go. So that was, he said, first off, let me tell you, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, dude, but that's why I love it. And I'm going to give like a little selfless plug, dude. JT is one of my best friends. And ironically, we shot that in his garage at like 9 o'clock after we had been filming stuff for like 10 hours. So like, I'm all like barely holding the camera, trying to keep it together. And then he's like, yeah, bro, let me dash your dreams and, piss on your grave for a minute. But no, check out JT. He is a super genuine, just good dude. And he's given me a lot of really good advice. And it's interesting now because he's not fishing tournaments anymore. So he kind of has this sort of like very like old wise man perspective where he's been in the game. Now he's like an observer and an analyzer of the game. And he's also just like, he's never been rich or anything like that. So he has this really kind of like, I don't know, like just normal guy perspective that I can relate to, and he notes things that I would never pick up on because he's just seen things evolve and change over these past 20-30 years. Right. He's good people, man.
Yeah, and he did have a video similar to yours a few years back whenever he was talking about being a commentator versus being out there on the water.
I shot it.
Oh, that was you.
I shot it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah. I couldn't find it, but I was like, when I were pulling this stuff out, because he used to do moto racing or something like that.
Yeah, he did a quadrunner racing, dude.
Right. Yeah. So I guess he transition from that to
he's always transitioning, bro. Yeah, that's his MO.
From that to the fishing side, and he was like, I thought about this fishing path on the pro side, and I decided I'll sit behind the desk. So so you actually shot the video.
I think I made him say that he was an ex-pro a couple times, dude. I'm like, if you don't say you're an ex-pro in this video, I'm not editing it, bro.
Yeah.
We have fun when we're shooting stuff. That's what I like with JT, man. We have a good old time.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. All right, so look, this is where we're at with the poll. So we put, would you rather, playing the would you rather game, be a YouTuber or a pro? And we have 58% are saying a YouTuber. Did that surprise you? And we have 42% are saying pro. So I mean, so more people are saying that.
You know what's kind of interesting, dude? And it's going back to so I told you I jumped on this game 2009, 2010. And I always tell the story, we used to fish these little wildcat derbies on Okeechobee on Sundays. They'd pull 50 to 80 boats, whatever. And, I'm this dumb kid and I show up and I got a camera and I'm putting the camera in the back of the boat. These people would look at me like I was some kind of alien, foreign, freaking weirdo. Like, dude, they would just, and some of them would make fun of me. Some of them would give me weird looks. And that was, I'd say 2010 to about 2014 or so. That was like the standard operating procedure.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you if you ran that poll back then, it would be like 98% would want to be pro and 2% would want to be YouTube. And it's interesting to me how much that's changed. Some of it's about money stuff. Some of it's about fame stuff, but a lot of it's about acceptance. Like the role of YouTube and people doing fishing videos and stuff like that, it's really converted. And that's why you hear, what's his name? Jacob Fouts and that. Like these guys are like moaning about that stuff. And like, it's a part of the evolution and transition. Like things change, they evolve, you know,
right.
It wasn't always like that, but that's how it is now. So it's kind of interesting to see how that dynamic has really changed in 12 years, dude.
Right. Yeah, definitely. All right. So I went ahead and dropped that poll, and let's start the next one. So this next poll, let's just take a look at it and see, do you fish tournaments for fun or for money? So let's say if you're going into this knowing that you're not going to make any money, but you're going to have fun. Are you going into this tournament thing for that? Or are you going into it, hey, I'm not there to make friends. I'm not there to have a good time. I'm out there for work. I'm out there to get the job done and come back with a check. All right. So I'm starting that poll. Do you fish tournaments for fun or for money? So that's kind of clarifies it if anybody has any questions about it, but just drop your answers on this poll. That poll is up and running, guys. Make sure you continue to get active in the chat. And also, wait a minute, guys. We got to stop the show for a second. How are my likes looking? See, the likes, I just need to know, do they like me? I mean, you know what I mean? I got to know, what do they think about me? Let's just take a look. We have a nice little crowd here. I mean, how many likes do you think I should have? What do you think? What would be a good number of likes? We have about just a little under 100 people in here. How many likes should I have?
I mean, it's just like cowbell, isn't it, bro? You can always use more cowbell. Like,
oh, there we go, guys. Why are my likes looking ugly? They don't like me. They want to see, but they just don't like me. Hey, guys, would you mind just setting the hook on the like button for me? They're looking kind of ugly. Can I get maybe like 7, 8 more likes? It really does help the channel out. All right, so the next poll that I put up is, do you fish tournaments for fun or for money? So whenever you were looking into it, you weren't necessarily going into it for the money side of things, because one of the things you mentioned was being on the road all the time. You're not really making that much money and all that kind of stuff. So what was your thought process on just that aspect of it, for the fun or the money?
I mean, you never mind the money, right? But I guess maybe I'll put a caveat on it. I was looking more for like sustainability of it. Is it something that's realistic? If you lose everything, like if you fail miserably, are you still okay? And that was kind of one of the big questions, Right. So we don't, in the end, dude, and I think you can attest to this, if we did this for money, we're stupid. Like really, really stupid. I could go get like a cubicle job and make a lot more money than I'm making right now. Would I be happy doing that? Would I be fulfilled doing that? Hell no, dude. Hell to the no. Yeah. So like, I think it's the same. Like we're all chasing, like, living in a better house, having a nicer truck and all that. And that's a part of that game. But you have to have some kind of like intrinsic investment, some kind of spiritual, whatever you want to call it, connection to fishing, where it just drives you, it motivates you, it fulfills you. Otherwise, you're not going to win anyways. I don't care how motivated you are for money, dude. Right. Yeah, that's the thing. All right. So we have Crush It Jill. Shout out to the Money Team. All right, guys, the people that I'm referring to as the Money Team are the people that you see with the badges next to their name. Those are the members of the channel. So we have Crush It Jail came up and says, I fish tournaments for both to have a chance to cut a check and for the competition. All right, for the cut the check and the competition. So I guess trying to mix those two. That's why I specifically said if you only could choose one or the other, that is the poll question. And right now they're getting active, but we need some more participation on the poll. They're still voting, but do you fish tournaments for fun or money? We have 36% are saying money. Now I'm interested in somebody that is saying they're doing it for money to hear their perspective on it and what their balance sheet looks like from year to year. And then we have 64% are saying they do it for fun. So
this is another question I have for you. So when someone says that they are doing this for money, right? And let's say they have a 7-year spread where they have been doing this for money. And at the end of each one of those years, a lot of us, we only like to talk about what we bring in.
Right.
We don't want to talk about the $1,500 we put out, and then we got a check for $350, and we're going back to all of our.
I got an Excel sheet for that stuff, bro. I know what's going out.
So if your balance sheet is kind of flip floppy, and one side is always kind of a reddish color when it should be green, it's always in the red. Are you really fishing for money? What do you think? Like, even, oh, wait a minute, it's changing now. So wait a minute, hold on, let me see what just happened. Do you fish for fun or for money? Oh, hold on, I'm looking at the wrong.
Did you blow another poll, dude?
I think so. Hold on, let me refresh real quick and see if I did it right. Let's see. Okay, wait a second. No, I got it right. Something's going on with the voting numbers, though. But it says, do you fish tournaments for fun or money? So we have 83% are saying fun, and man, it's all over the place. Oh, yeah, because
dude, it's one of those questions. I'm not going to get all political, but like, you ask a certain question, like political wise, and people won't answer because they don't want to be that guy and stuff, So like, it's kind of one of them things where like the right answer is for fun, but like, the real answer is for freaking cash money, dude. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know.
And so that was the question that I had. Like, for the people that are putting that they fish for money, how many years have they done their balance sheet and they have actually been in the green where they actually have made money? And if the answer to that is never, are you really fishing for money? Because you're still doing it. Because if you were going to your job every day, and you're coming back, and at the end of the week, you owe them some money. So you're actually
that would suck.
Would you keep doing it? And would you say that, hey, I'm doing this job for money if you're not making money? So that's kind of my thing. I want to see, that's what I would want to find out. Are the people that are saying they do it for money?
But I mean, there is, like, every question has nuance, right?
Right.
And so one of the aspects too is there is valuable, if you really want to get, like, if we're having an honest conversation, you really want to get to the brass tacks of it, there is value to the write-off aspect of it too, though. So in a way, depending on your situation, if you lose money and you're writing stuff off, but say you're working another business and you're halfway successful in your other business, it provides a tax write-off. So you can write off your marketing, you can write off your gas mileage, and you're sort of like playing both fields. You're doing something fun. You might not be winning, but you're actually using that value, even though it's a negative value, to support the other things that you're doing.
Right.
And that's something that I thought about too, because it provides write-off. When you're driving your truck to go to a tournament, that's a mileage write-off. It's depreciation. So when you're paying for a tournament, it's a write-off because it's a business expense, because it'll fall under shooting content and stuff. So the question isn't as black and white or straightforward as you would think it would be. So that's why it's so important, like you're saying, like to run a balance sheet. Like, I keep an Excel sheet, dude, to like identify every cost that I have, because I'm always working in a very fine margin to be able to do the work that I do, but then also do the YouTube stuff and have some fun with that. And it's a very delicate kind of balance, like it's a lot more, I don't know, just nuanced and specialized than just winning and not winning, cashing a check kind of thing.
Right. And let's see. So we shout out to the money team once again. We have Eat Squawk checking in. So let's see what Eat Squawk says. All right. Of course, you want money. If you're not fishing for money, you should just go fun fishing. It don't matter if there's money. Let me see. It doesn't matter if there's money or not, though. If I'm going fishing, I will be competing. Just ask my hubby. All right. So shout out to Eat Squawk. She says she's always competing. But I mean, you just gotta have your goals set in mind of what you want to do with the whole thing.
That's a good point, though, too, because I think there was an older guy in there who was like, I can't play ball, I can't do this, but I can go fishing and fish tournaments. And exactly. I think there's a lot of guys, and that's that accessibility thing I was talking about. I think there's a lot of middle-aged dudes who want to do something competitive, but they don't want to go play softball. They don't want to join a bowling league, and they want to fulfill that competitive thing. And fishing, with how it's so open, you can be any age, any race, any body like type. Like you can, as long as you are willing to get out there on the water and do it, like you're in play, bro. You're a player.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that really sets what we do apart. And that's where, you know, the money thing is fun, but a lot of these guys really thrive on the competition. I got a couple buddies who, like, I don't care if it was a $1 tournament. They want to play, dude. It's like playing horse and throwing a couple dollars on it, you know, playing one-on-one. Like that's what they thrive on, that competitive aspect of it.
Right. Yeah, I was at one of my bass club meetings a few months ago, and we were in a like a gym having the meeting, and we saw a basketball on the side. So we had a
just have a little pickup game.
Hey, there we go. Hey, it was like $1, like who makes the shot, throw $1 in the pot. So it's like, yeah, we're always trying to find something to have that, get that competition, you know, that's in our blood, get that.
Well, you know, we're a bunch of degenerates, right? Like anybody who goes out fishing all the time, we're a bunch of addicts. So like gambling is just another notch on our belt, dude.
Right.
Like, we just go play, you know.
Oh man. All right, so let's see. Let's go ahead and drop this poll down. But do you fish tournaments for fun or money? All right, so we have a nice little crowd that voted on that. So fun wins at 64% and money at 36%. Man, I want to ask these guys that are fishing for money,
how much money they're making.
Yeah,
we're doing it wrong, dude. We need some advice, dude.
So let's drop this poll down. Can you think of a question that we can ask the people that are saying they fish for money? What should we ask them? That's what I want to know. Because how much money are they making?
They coming out in the red or are they coming out in the black, dude?
All right, so there we go. Let's see.
Because you can fish for money but not come up with it. You know what I mean? Like, but this is another one of those questions. Like, who's going to actually say they're coming out in the red? You know, like.
Let me see. If you say you fish for money, are you actually? How should I word that?
Coming out in a positive or a negative?
Okay.
Yeah, I always get confused with the red and the black thing too. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'll just put making or losing money. How about that? Does that make it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. If you say you fish for money, are you actually?
Yeah, but then you're gonna get those guys. It's like, bro, I won 3 club tournaments in friggin' April. I'm killing it, you know.
Okay, are you actually making a profit? That's
over an annualized tax schedule.
All right, and guys, I have dropped the call-in link. So if anybody wants to come
harass Mike, call
if you want to come in,
troll me, bro.
And yeah, like if you have some questions, the tough questions, the hard questions for them, go ahead and bring them on. All right, so if you say you fish for money, are you actually making a profit? Yes, and we're gonna keep it simple, yes or no. So this is for the people that answered saying that they fish for money. Are you making a profit when you're doing it? We're not saying that you went out and spent like $800 or $1,500 on the tournament and you get a check for $800. You didn't.
You're still in the red.
Right. Yeah. I mean, because there's some guys that go out and they fish and they've won $2,000, but they fished 8 tournaments and now they finally win one. But when
into the pot.
Right. But now when they look and add up everything for those 8 tournaments, they're sitting at $7,000, $8,000 because they traveled, hotel, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because the overhead cost is what kills you, dude.
Right.
Like the gas, the boat maintenance, like you got to eat food, all that, like
hotel
stuff, dude.
Right. Yeah. All right, guys. So that poll is up and running. The question is, if you say you fish for money, are you actually making a profit? That one started out quick.
Getting down to the brass tacks, bro.
Listen, it's right now, it's 100% no. They're not.
Spending money, yes. Making money, no.
It's changing now. Okay, look, we have the harass Mikey Balzz session going on.
Oh no.
All right, so we have somebody in the back. Now this is Big Ivy. Let's see what's going on with Big Ivy. What's going on? What kind of question do you have for it?
So we have somebody in the back. Now this is Big Ivy. Let's see.
Got the rally cap on, dude.
Yeah, there we go. Big Ivy, can you hear us? You got to turn us off the other channel and just have us on.
Yeah.
Just watch the. There you go. So what what's on your mind, Big Ivy? What's going on?
I fish. I've been fishing Major League now for 3 years. I think I done spent about 1,400 it's my change.
Okay.
Being a co-angler, but I always learn like or if I get into something, I gotta have something to cover that money. I wanted to open a brick and mortar store, but I knew that it was gonna be some overhead, so I tried to do the internet sales. But some of these companies, they wouldn't sell me no merchandise because they claim that I'm taking money out the brick and mortar guy that got this store and got a family. I got a family too. I just don't want a brick and mortar. I don't want the overhead. So I end up rubbing some elbows with some people when they sent me merchandise. So I'm like, cool. I learned a lot. I like to play stupid and learn from different individuals. So this year, I'm getting a boat. I had a boat back in the days when I was young. Let my guys use it, and they took the girls out on the Lake Michigan and tore up the prop and just destroyed it. So I know never let nobody use your boat. That not trustworthy.
It's a learning process for you.
Yes, a bunch of learning. Now, this year,
Big Ivy, listen, this is the question I have for you. Do you fish for fun or do you fish for money? Which one do you have? What you got for us?
When I'm at home, I fish for fun, but when I'm out doing the tournaments, I fish for the money.
All right, there we go. So that's what I wanted to get to. So when you're fishing the tournaments, you're fishing for money. How often for the past how many ever years would you say that if you were to go back and look at your
put them on the rails?
No, about 1,400. Yeah. About 1,400.
Okay, so you're 1,400 in the red. So you gotcha. Okay, all right.
But
so yes,
you gotta think. What I do is, like I said, like these. Hey, look, these things, right? You see them?
Oh, he's selling us stuff, dude. Look at you got a website, bro? Just pop on the link, dude.
Hey, $14. I'm gonna sell it for $25. Dig?
All right, so listen, shout out to Big Ivy. All right, listen.
That's grassroots marketing, bro.
So look, do you listen, Big Ivy? Do you have do you sell those online, or where do you sell them? And where can the people find you at? Let's get Big Ivy some of his $1,400 in the red bag.
Oh, just call.
Oh, just call him. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm not trying to pay. I pay my taxes. So just call me.
All right,
my number is all over the internet.
All right, guys. All right, so that is Big Ivy, guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you down, Big Ivy, and see if somebody else wants to come up. Drop your information in the chat. Appreciate you for coming up, and you're welcome back anytime. Shout out to
I just figured out a new business model, dude. I'm gonna troll freaking podcast and just have all my inventory right here and just flip, dude.
There we go. So guys, look, I have the call-in link in the chat. So especially if you guys have a YouTube channel, you should be hitting the link and coming up, asking a question or something. I'll shout out your channel and everything. And as you see, Big Ivy, he just made him $3.50. He just sold a pack of Minners. He just sold.
That's old school capitalism, bro.
Oh goodness, man, that's funny. All right, guys, but yeah, so the link is in the chat. So we'll keep Mikey Balzz here just for a few more minutes because he does have some people that he needs to get to.
Let me throw something in the mix too, man. So I'm all about, like, when I look at things, everything has a dollar amount in a way, right? Like your time is time capital, you know, like freaking whatever you invest mentally, physically, equipment. And one thing I think that where we get kind of wishy-washy on fishing is, and Big Ivy kind of mentioned it, dude, he likes going out there and learning, right? So like, is that learning aspect as a co-angler that has a dollar amount on it? So like, is he paying for that service? Like, is some of that 1,400 that he's in the red, 1,300, like actually sort of translatable to sort of an investment in himself, you know, to be better?
So that what you just said is a great point, because if you think about it, you pay for knowledge in a sense, like when you go to college, when you do any of these other things. So if you're doing it from that learning aspect, then it's definitely, I can see exactly what you mean. So that I wouldn't say that is a necessarily in the red type situation, because would you consider, if you take a course on something or you get a certification, yeah, you can use that to, in the end, if your end goal is that that fun side of things, what the experience, basically, that's kind of what you're
exactly. Yeah, like that millennial deal, dude, where you're paying for the experience. Yeah.
Right. All right. So let's see. We have somebody else in here. What do we call this section? This it was beat up on Mikey Balzz segment.
Fire away, dude. Shots fired.
All right. Let's see who else we have. All right. Shout out to, who do we have? We have Chris. What's going on, buddy?
He's in the other room.
Oh yeah. I had to get in.
So
let me preface Chris real quick. Chris has a really good perspective on things, man, because he's one of my really good buddies in Florida. He owns a tackle shop, 44 Tackle. It's one of the best shops in North Central Florida. He fishes the opens, been a good friend for a long time, knows business and knows the tournament side. And he's really functioning on both ends, because he's on that retail end, he's on the business end, and then he's like, I'm going to fish these opens and get after it. So he's got a lot of experience behind him.
Wow. Okay. All right. So
I've got beat down from all sides.
So. So what do you want? What do you have for this harass Mikey Balzz segment?
I probably have more.
Yes. He's got all the dirt, dude.
I've probably got all the ammo sitting right here, but I'll be nice tonight, I suppose. But no, it's interesting the perspectives I'm seeing in the comments and stuff like that on that. And like one thing I said in there was, you can be fishing for money and never actually win, right? So. But you can also be profiting and never win. So you've got guys like, Gerald Swindle's a prime example of that. He's won an Open, but he's never won an Elite Series, never won a Classic. He's won AOY, but he's found a platform that makes it sustainable.
Yeah.
And he's been there for years and years and years, and probably won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
Right.
But it has to do with changing, evolving, and being able to manage relationships. It has nothing to do with like all of the stuff you'll see on a lot of YouTube videos for like advice and stuff like that you're going to hear all these guys go, oh, well, you need sponsors, and in order to impress sponsors, you got to do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And then everybody follows this like blueprint that they see on the internet. And guys like me get 3 to 5 requests a day for sponsorship stuff. And it all comes in the exact same way. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I've seen that video. They watched that video. They just checked off the boxes, sent it in, or they spam out the same paragraph to every manufacturer on the planet. Or the big discount for me to just go ahead and not even read further is, they say, I think your products that you sell, or no, what was it? It's the products that you make would make me a better angler on the water. Well, I don't make any products. I resell everybody else's. So that means you don't have a clue, and you just sent this to all the manufacturers out there, never even took a look to see what we do. But I've traveled on the opens for, I think, God, almost 6-7 years now. I've been on the co-angler side, I've been on the boater side, and now I've been on the EQs for the last 2 seasons. And it is not an easy schedule to maintain. So anybody that says that you can't do this, it's everybody has choices in life. It just depends on what choices you put first. And, I'm one of the testaments, I think Jamie Bruce is another really good testament. He's said it on his podcast stuff several times. I've got a wife of 14 years. I've got a 13-year-old son. I've got a business. I've got, all of the above that people say of reasons why they can't do this.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with being able to or not. It has to do with the amount that you want to do this. And if you don't make things a priority in life and find a way to prioritize your dreams, you're always going to be saying, well, I wish I could have, or, that could have been me if I had this, or if, and I hear it all the time. Must be nice to own a business and go fish all the time. And it's like, I'm away from my family 100 days a year,
Exactly.
on the road, along with a business that took me 8 years to get to a point where I've got excellent guys managing the store for me that, they hats off to those guys because they make it really easy for me to go away these days. I get maybe 1 or 2 phone calls on the road. I send a few emails and they are excellent, top notch guys. But it took me 8 years to get to that point where I could take, 100 days a year on the road and things not getting flooded. Mikey knows what that's about. Stuff burning down, whatever, customers mad. If you look at our customer reviews, customer service with my guys is paramount. We will go above and beyond for every one of our customers. And if you look at our Google reviews, I just looked the other day, we have like 250 Google reviews since we've been in business at a 4.8 rating.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh, yeah, that's definitely good.
Yeah,
so what's the name of your shop again? Let's go ahead and make sure the guys know. So what's the name?
44 Tackle.
44 Tackle. And are you online also?
Yep. We offer free shipping over $35. We have just about every bait you could ever need in Florida and most of the Southeast, and then some things that are, we've got all the hover rig stuff. Shout out to Mikey's Gambler hover rig and FFS jig that he designed, I guess. We've got all of that kind of stuff. Anything gambler you could ever want, we've got in store. Z-Man, high-end reels, the whole deal. So,
and they're just down the street from Harris Chain. He's right
down
there.
We're 40 minutes from the Harris Chain in Inverness, Florida.
And it's 44tackle.com.
Yep.
All right, guys. So listen, make sure you go to 44tackle.com, enter code MoneyBass, and you will get one extra worm added to any bait that you purchase. How about that?
I love it. This has been one big home shopping.
The guys are gonna get all sorts of phone calls and be like, "What in the heck are you talking about?"
MoneyBass. 44tackle.com, guys.
You heard it here first.
What's the number where the guys can call to put in their orders?
That's 352-726-6100.
All right.
And actually, that's actually one of the things about us being a smaller shop still, and we're not too big for our britches. You can actually call the shop, and the guy that answers the phone can answer any question you have about tournament fishing, about what's going on locally, what's going on up north, what's going on anywhere, because every guy that works for me is a tournament fisherman.
Okay.
And so they fish locally, and we encourage all of our guys to fish tournaments and be in the tournament scene. So all of our guys can answer hard asked questions that they get on a regular basis and really have quality knowledge. And they're not going to sell people on anything that walk in the door. It's what they need. And so when you call in, they will actually pick the order while they're on the phone with you, and you can get it sent out. So it's very customized. The guy that you're talking to on the phone is probably packing your order too.
Gotcha. So, somebody said, so not like Tackle Warehouse. You guys actually know what you're talking about.
That's a big thing we get all the time is like, oh, I had to buy from the enemy the other day. You didn't have this. It's like, man, I travel all over. The amount of money I spend all over the US, including Tackle Warehouse. I am guilty of buying stuff from Tackle Warehouse because I need it. There's things I can't get or things that I like to throw that when you need it, you need it. Gotcha. So I'm never gonna, they make their money the same way I do. They've just been in it a lot longer than us. So, it's always kind of taboo to me to think about, competition in the industry when we're all having to live in the same world. So.
All right. So Chris, I know you came up here thinking this was to harass Mikey Balzz, but we kind of had a conversation ahead of time. You didn't know we were setting you up. So you see, Fishing with Bayou Billy says, going there to order soon as you give me a promo code.
So you better get on your phone and generate one.
All right, promo code, guys. The promo code is MoneyBass.
As a store owner and as somebody that deals with sponsors and all that stuff, I've got a question for everybody out there. So if you placed an order with Tackle Warehouse, Bass Pro, or anybody in the last year, but you have walked in to your local tackle store or anybody that you've got a personal relationship with, and you've said, well, I had to order from Tackle Warehouse, you know, blah, blah, blah. But if you gave me my 10% discount, I'd probably buy it from you. Why is that a thing? I get that statement a lot by people that say they like me and they're friends and, you know, stuff like that. But suddenly they're like, well, I literally had somebody call me and say, hey, and somebody I give a loyalty discount to, because they've been a customer since day one when we've been in business. So, you know, we treat people that have helped us very well. My fishing partner will not order from you because you don't give him a discount. Well, I said, well, how many times has he been in my store? And he goes, well, I don't know. I said, I know a lot of people that walk in the store, and if I've never seen him walk in my store in 5 years, I said, let me look at my system, because every order that comes through our system, if it's a credit card purchase, their last name shows up, and, you know, so on and so on. Or if they buy a rod from us or reel, instead of you know, trying to get people to keep track of their paper receipts, we put it in our system so that we can look it back up for proof of purchase for the manufacturer warranty, so you don't have to remember your receipt. So I go look through them, like, he's bought from me 3 times in 8 years. Wow. Why does he deserve a discount? Well, he just said that, you know, he would, you know, he always orders from Tackle Warehouse. I said, we ship same day, and we can get it to his door tomorrow for free shipping. Why is he placing his order with Tackle Warehouse, but he wants me to give him a discount in order for him to, you know, me to earn his business? How does that make sense?
Okay, so wait a minute. So now you have me going to 44tackle.com. Let me take a look at it real quick. All right, so how does your shipping work again? What is the minimum order that people need to place?
$35.
Oh, so yours is less than Tackle Warehouse.
Yeah, they're 50.
Right. Okay.
And if it's placed before 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, it will be shipped out that day.
All right. So, hey, you know what? We have Mikey Balzz on here, and he knows all about different baits. So let me just pull this up real quick. Hold on just a second.
We're going to quiz show this game.
If you're buying stuff, I mean, I would type in the word clutch.
All right. Let's see.
Specifically a darter.
Let's see. Hold on just a second. Let's do this the right way. Can we blow it up just a little bit? So this is the website. So yeah, I mean, you have discounted stuff on there and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, hangover.
Oh, mystery box action.
Yeah, my chatterbait trailer.
Okay.
Yeah,
so what would you say is like one of your top sellers that you have? Are people into these big swim baits and things now?
We've been getting into that very heavy. We've on and off. We've had, you know, we've been able to get on to phonies and stuff like that. We've carried clutch. We will, as soon as retailers are allowed to, we're going to have the new Clutch Eco, which is going to be there's the monster jig. That thing is huge, as they say. But it's got a 10-aught hook in it.
Jesus.
It's the swim bait, or I guess the big swim bait of jigs is what they're calling it.
Gotcha.
But the swim bait market's really tough to get into as a retailer because the demand for them is so high, and they're so slowly produced because they're handmade, like the good ones, anyways.
Gotcha.
So for a retailer, it's super hard because nobody wants to give up any margin when the demand's so high. So it's super tough for a retailer to get into it. And then there's this whole culture behind it that nobody's allowed to make money on swim baits except for the person that made it. So it's very difficult, and that's why you don't see a lot of stores carrying it. And Mike Buka and I are really good friends, and you know, we have this discussion all the time because Mike's like, "Why won't you carry my stuff?" Because I'm like, "Because you're not allowing me to sell the stuff that people want."
Right.
So, but you know, they just can't keep up with demand because it's a handmade product, and they test every one of them that goes out the door before it goes out the door. So, you know, there's a process involved, and it's like you can't put time to that. But the big problem with the market is if you go to resell that bait for more than original retail cost, so if I even go out and just want to become a collector and then sell off my collection,
right,
the culture says you have to sell it for exactly what you have into it or very little profit. There's no profit to be made. Otherwise, you're labeled a flipper, which is frowned upon, and you'll get blackballed from the community.
Man.
So it's a really touchy subject when it comes to that. But there's some companies that are embracing the retail side of things. Clutch is one of them. They've been selling on Tackle Warehouse and through us, their darters and their OGs. And their Eco, as soon as it comes out, is going to be, I've got a couple of them that they've given me, and it is going to be one of the coolest retail-based swim baits. Like, it's like the Chad Shad on steroids.
And what is it called again?
It's called a Clutch Eco. It'll be released soon. They're going to have some at the Classic this week. But it's an awesome bait that I've had a chance to try out, and it's a chopping bait, very similar to, it'd be a good competitor of the Hyper Shad Swim Bait Garage Hyper Shad for anybody who knows. It's very popular on the Ozarks and Highland Reservoir lakes. They get a really good reaction bite because they almost work like a spook underwater, so you can make it stay in one spot for a long time, and it's super erratic, and it's not really made to make those wide glides.
Gotcha.
But it's really good for fishing around docks and structure fishing.
Okay. Yeah, so I have to check that out, because this year when I'm fishing tournaments, well, for my club, I'm not going for a limit. I just need one fish. I'm going for a 7-pounder. So I can win our mega bass pot.
But you know what's funny? You'll catch small ones on those kind of baits. But I will say, so what I've learned in the short time I've been playing with the swim bait stuff, and I've got way too big of a collection already. I need to like fine tune it a little bit. When you start getting into the $4,000 to $5,000 range, some people say you're just getting started, and I've got way too much at the moment.
All right, so there we go. So John says, I'm gonna buy me a rod from 44.
Heck yeah, that's what we like to see.
All right, so listen, guys, I want to know. So Mikey, hit me up and let me know if they get with anybody that calls in or puts in
for the extra worm
MoneyBass. Yeah, because somebody, you saw that on there. Somebody said, hey, I'm gonna put in my order for that extra worm.
Yeah, what's his kickback then, Chris? You get 2% or something like that?
Hey, I just want to see. I just want to see what happens.
We'll have a call after this, and we can get you an affiliate link going.
All right. So now let's see. Let's hop back on this real quick. So for you, one of the questions that we had was, do you fish for fun or for money? So what would you say, since you are doing the opens? Are you? And when I say for money, we're talking about to kind of go up the ranks and eventually go to the elites. Wait a second. You're fishing. Okay,
I'm fishing the EQ. So yeah,
right.
I'm trying to qualify for the elites. I've kind of shot myself in the foot for this season, so we're going for classic berths now. But
gotcha.
But yeah, no. So that's a loaded question in some ways. So like people that are quick to answer that, I don't think have thought it through.
Okay.
I think it all starts out as fun, right? We all go fish for bluegill, or we go fish for saltwater fish, whatever it is. I grew up saltwater fishing.
Right.
What I found with the saltwater fishing side was I got tired of, always coming home, cleaning the boat, the whole thing that happened, for a day of fishing. I was like, I'm loading the boat with meat. I don't need the meat anymore. So now I'm just going to catch and release. And now it's like this whole process.
Right.
So then I started bass fishing, and then it was like, the way you pattern fish in a lake versus the way you pattern fish in tidal fisheries are very different. And I felt like it was more like a game of chess. Like in a tidal fishery, you're like wondering what the migrations look like, what the size patterns are, and like trying to figure out where the bigger fish was a little bit more of like how the season was going. Guys now have done it a lot differently, where you've got redfish tournaments and all that stuff, and guys are really tuned in on that, on knowing how to get pattern the bigger fish. But back then, the way I looked at it was the way I was taught, and it was like, oh, this time of year you're going to catch the biggest redfish, this time of year you're going to catch the biggest trout, and that was like the way that it went. Yeah. So then when I went to bass fishing, it was like, okay, I know there's a 10-pounder in this lake somewhere, how do I break this lake down to go find that 10 pounder? Is like an Easter egg hunt. And so it's like they can only go so far, right? They're in this body of water that's landlocked. How far can they go? They're somewhere here, they're there. So that keeps you casting all the time. And so that's what made it fun. And then the competitive side of me, everything I've ever done, I've got this like addiction to hobbies. So like
right.
At one point it was competitive paintball when I was younger. Then it went to like being in the pool hall 5 days a week to, it was like several different hobbies over the years, and fishing kind of stuck, about 10, 12 years ago, as far as the bass side of things go. But
so it sounds like to me what you're kind of led up to is the competition over everything
right
else.
So
gotcha.
I'm driven competitively, and the way I do all of my hobbies is I do them to the best of my ability until I feel like I've made it as high as I can go.
Gotcha.
And then I'm done. I wouldn't say that I'd quit when I'm the best. I would say I'd quit where I think I've given it everything I can give it till I feel like I've done everything I can.
Gotcha.
I don't look at it as I look at fishing and any of my hobbies that I've turned into passion things. And that's why I got in the tackle business, was because I was passionate about fishing. Two worms. But I think what drives me is I want to be happy in everything I'm doing. I own a tackle store because I'm happy. I didn't do it because I want to be rich. Anybody who owns a tackle store will tell you the same thing. But I really do like talking to people about fishing, and there's nothing like more rewarding than giving somebody that pride of like going out and catching their first fish and showing them the way to do that. So that's what drove me into fishing, was the passion side of things. I grew up fishing, but the money making side is more of a sustainability for me, to afford my expensive hobby. So
gotcha.
The opens are just a stepping stone to figure out where you lay in the world of fishing in that top, let's call it top 10% of people that fish. And I'm not saying that we're the best fishermen on earth that are fishing the opens. We're just the ones that have taken that step, right? There's
Gotcha.
guys I know locally that could probably put the whooping on almost anybody on a Florida lake, but they're never going to step out. They're never going to step out into that realm to travel around the country, for the reasons of, their priorities in life are their family, their job, their, whatever.
Right.
They haven't carved out that part of their life to fishing.
So it seems like I need to kind of edit my question a little bit, but I kind of put the loaded questions in there to make people think.
Yeah, and some people can answer that, but for me, for me, I always swore when I got into tournament fishing that I would never treat it as a gambling addiction, right?
Gotcha.
So a gambling addiction in fishing would be, okay, I made the Elite Series this year, but I can't afford entry fees. I have no sponsors. Nobody wants to work with me. I'm just going to go mortgage my house to bankroll me. That's a terrible decision.
Yeah, that's kind of ugly right there. All right, so look, I don't want to hold Mr. Mikey Balzz too long, so I appreciate you for coming up. Make sure you guys go to 44 Tackle. MoneyBass is the code word. Get that one free worm and get that free shipping. He told you he beats Tackle Warehouse on the shipping. He has some nice things here. I pulled it up. But so really appreciate you for coming up, sir. You are welcome back anytime.
Well, we'll set it up for sure.
All right, that'll work. All right, guys. So there we go. All right, so let's see. So we've been running for about an hour and 18. So let's do this. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, but let's just do a quick speed round. I'm gonna pull up somebody, let them ask their question real quick, because we've been holding him. You guys heard he's going to the lake tomorrow. So let's see who we have coming up next. We have Edward Cohen. What's going on, Edward? How are you doing?
Hey, doing money. How you doing, Mike?
Doing pretty good. So what question do you have? We're doing the speed round real quick because I'm kind of holding him over just a little bit.
Oh, good.
Well, I didn't really have a question. What I want to advise Mike is, well, as far as your survey question, I answered that I do it for fun, but I've made it fun. And one of the coolest things about fishing, don't fish your local division. If you're going to fish BASS, EQs, one division, go fish the Southern or up north, or go someplace you've never been, because I watch Money there fishing on Lanier. I fished Lanier in 1994 when I fished BASS. I fished Grand Lake in 91 and 92, and it's the people you meet and the places you go, and if you can I always fished on weekends and vacations, pro tournaments, and basically I was happy if I could break even. I was never really in a position I didn't have to do well to be able to fish those. So if I get enough sponsors and do well enough that I broke even for the year, I had a free vacation to Lake Lanier that year, and you really build some good memories. Don't that's
yeah, it's about the experience. It's not all about the fishing.
Right.
I think they talk about, there's a lot of controversy and negative things about, say, tournament fishermen, and I don't think people think about enough about places you go and the people you meet. It's hard to go past, to drive someplace 3 hours from your house. You got to pass 10 other places you can fish, and really get you to go places.
Yeah, so that's definitely some good advice. So doing it for the experience. All right, Edward, I appreciate you for coming up. We're doing the speed round real quick. So I
gotta break up the speed round. Dude, MoneyBass, are you a Lanier guy?
Yes, sir. I saw you up here hanging out with Jimbo, my buddy Jimbo.
Lanier's my favorite lake in the world. Like Tim and those guys, those are my people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I thought you were a little north of there, bro. That's cool.
Hey, I'm right down the street from Lanier. So yeah,
you're on one of the best fisheries in the United States. Dude.
So hey, let me know when you're ready to head back up here. So we'll make some.
I'll be there in April.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. All right. All right, Edward. I appreciate you for coming.
Thanks, Edward.
All right, great advice. All right, shout out to Edward Cohen, guys. All right, really appreciate that. All right, so let's see. Oh my goodness, I see who we got to close out with in just a second. All right, so let's bring up the next person on the speed round. This is the harassing Mikey Balzz segment. All right, shout out to CT. We have Cerebral Tackle. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, gentlemen?
I'm doing pretty good. So what do you have on your mind?
Well, I think the $1 million question is how did Money land such a big star like Mikey Balzz? I mean, how much is he paying you, man? You give us the deeds. He's got to be opening up that wallet as cheap as he is.
We're both cheap, bro. I think that's why we're at where we're at.
I tell you, right? But no, but yeah, seriously, been following your stuff here for quite a long time, and you're one of the few YouTubers that I really enjoy watching. Love a lot of your content, man. And between you and Money, man, a couple of the salt of the earth guys right here really enjoy it. Although, I can blackmail Money anytime I want. I got enough on his butt, so it's all good there. But as far as your buddy though, trolling you from the next room, could he have hit both nuts and you just stand up to let him kick you a little easier? I mean, that's just not right. That's just not right. I mean,
I even made him dinner, bro. Like I got dinner sitting out there for him, like good dinner. YouTube would not like me saying that, but I was gonna just say slip him a little something, make sure he goes to bed early and he can wake up, with a couple eyebrows shaved, and I can handle that, bro.
Go old school on him. Anyway, it's been good, but hey, I guess I will be talking to you, Money, hopefully tomorrow from the Classic.
All right, there we go. Make sure you guys check out Cerebral Tackle on YouTube.
Have fun at the Classic. Thanks for the support, bro.
Hey, man, my pleasure, and I really, man, I do. I really enjoy it. And too bad you ain't gonna be out there tomorrow, but I'll give your buddy hell out there.
Please do.
I'm hoping to have a video out every day this next week, but that's a bit ambitious. But I'm going to try to do every day plus a couple extras out there just to have fun. Try to do a little behind the scenes of what it's like to be in media out there.
Capture the experience, dude.
Yeah, exactly. I want to try to get everybody a good immersive experience from the backstage and from the media room and the whole 9 yards. Just kind of give them maybe something a little like they haven't seen before in the regular coverage. Hopefully, that's the plan. Now that I've said that out loud, everything's going to go to crap.
No,
But-
just start busting into those back rooms where they have all those like smoke-filled meetings, dude, and freaking just bust on it.
I see. I can't. I got credentials. I can walk right in. I got my credentials, so I'm good to go.
All right. So
Mercer found that out last time when I gave Mercer help. So it's all good.
So make sure you guys go and check out Cerebral Tackle. He's doing his thing. All right. I appreciate you for coming up, CT.
Well, have a good evening, fellas. Appreciate y'all.
Have fun at the classic, dude.
All right. Really.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Sounds good. All right. There we go. So that was CT. So we have one more person for this speed round. And I guess this is what we're going to close out with. Now, this right here.
We get loose.
This is going to be a problem. Oh, my God. Look what we have.
It's never a problem.
It's never ain't gonna be no problem here.
Ain't no problem.
Oh, we have a problem. We have a problem.
It ain't a problem.
This is the problem.
Is,
Let hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Stop the show. I need to give an intro right here. This is Chicken Hawk, the one and only. This is my the troll of all seasons. I mean, the troll of all. Now he comes to my channel and causes problems. He keeps harassing me on the lakes. He's even threatened me on the lake before.
I did not threaten you.
And listen, you did threaten me. And
you set me up.
But
that's okay. We're not gonna talk about that. But you know, like I said, the question was, do you fish for fun or do you fish for money? I fish for the fun of taking money's money. That's really what I do. That's what I do.
So this is the guy I got to get with on Lanier, dude. Forget money, dude. I got to link up with this guy.
Buddy. Look, he set me up. Mike, he set me up the other day. So I was coming over. You know, I was just coming over I was actually going to pick up some power poles. And we were supposed to go go to the range and shoot some guns. And next thing I know, I get there. He said, "Oh, did you bring a pole?" And I was like, "No. Why would I bring up? I didn't need to bring a pole. We're going to do this, right?" And so I got everything else I need, but I don't have a pole. He's like, "Oh, I figured we just go out to the lake for an hour." And I was like, okay, I got time, whatever. He pulls up this whole thumbnail of this challenge between money and live. He got a live stream set up, and he takes me out on this lake, puts me on the
stomp him. I stomp him.
I beat him. Really, it was not a stomping. It was not a stomping. In fact, so he takes me on Lanier, which is in his backyard, right?
Yeah.
And so we get out there on the lake. He's putting me in the most challenging places.
Yeah, he's backboning you, dude.
Right. Yeah, he backboned the hell out of me. And so, that's he rolled. And then, so look, finally at the end, when we're catching fish, I said, "Hey, I like to beat him up shallow." He took me deep all for the whole hour, almost 2 hours.
He was on the front of the boat. You were the one running the trolling motor.
Hold up, Mike. Hold up. No.
Coming over here lying. How are you going to say that I backvoted you when you were on the trolling motor?
No, but the point of the matter is, he put me in this deep water, right? And he knows, I can adapt to anything, He put a pole in my hand, I'll catch a fish. But the point of the matter is he put me in deep water. He took me to where he keeps his little bait fish, and he couldn't catch any of his fish. So I said, "Fine, let's take it shallow." We get shallow. I go to cast. He shifts the boat, gets me hung up. Now I'm hung up. I'm trying to get loose from my hang up, and he lines up and he throws exactly where I was about to throw. Bam.
Now you see how he's freezing up, right? You know why he's freezing up.
Who needs enemies when you got friends, right, bro? Like, wow.
Exactly, right?
I'm just glad I'm not the target of this. I thought I was the one who was going to get shelled, dude, but it's back on you, bro.
I told you, he comes to my channel causing problems, harassing me all the time. So that's why I had to take him to the lake in front of everybody. And
well, listen, I give you credit. You got balls because he obviously came packing, dude. So you gave him the bait and switch, and the dude's got friggin' guns, bro.
All right, so Chicken Hawk, I'm gonna drop you down for just a second, but I'm gonna bring you back up so we can let our man of the hour, Mikey Balzz, head on out. All right, so really appreciate you for tuning in. Is there anything that you want to say in closing to your peoples?
No, I had a blast, dude. I'm always amazed that people like watch the channel and are into this stuff, dude, because you know you do the same thing. We make this stuff, we like it, you know, we feel positive about it, but you never know how it's going to be received. Exactly. And it's always super cool to have guys. I don't care if it's 1 person, 10 person, 10,000 people. It's always cool to get feedback like, hey, you know, I dig your shit, like keep on doing it. And so I thank you guys in the chat room and the guys that tuned in, because it's cool to hear that, and it makes me want to make more stuff. And you need to give me your cell phone number so that when I get over to Lanier, we can go smash on some spots, because
there we go.
I love that lake, and I'm halfway good at fishing it, dude.
All right, that'll work. All right, so I know you're about to head out and hang out with your buddies, but I would say if you could just pull us up and just watch for the next 5 minutes or so, because I'm going to play the clip that he's talking about. It was live. We were live. You'll get to see what he's talking about.
All right. But the video don't lie, right?
That's right. So yeah, it's about to go down. All right. So everybody, shout out to Mikey Balzz. Really, really appreciate you for coming on the show. You are welcome back anytime, sir.
I appreciate the invite, homie. It was nice chatting, dude. And it's cool to chat with somebody who's so honest and direct, dude. I think that's one thing that we've really lost on a lot of this YouTube stuff is, like, sometimes you're wrong, sometimes you're right, but it's best just to put it all out there on the table. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what you're doing right here.
There you go. All right. Really, really appreciate you. Shout out to Mikey Balzz, everybody. All right. All right. Have a good one.
Later, dude.
All right. All right, there we go. All right, so that was Mikey Balzz, guys. But as you saw, we have somebody that has decided to come here and cause some problems, trying to cause some problems. Where did you listen? You don't even know when this live comes on. How do you just pop up sometimes?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a pain to me. It's a pain in my derriere. It just tickled me. And I said, let me log on my computer.
Well, listen, we have somebody. We got to stop the show. We have somebody that is about to sponsor what is about to go down right now. So shout out to Joe Winkler. He says, great guest tonight. Love to watch Mikey's videos. All right, so shout out to Mikey Balzz, guys. But right now, we have to handle a little business. So tell the people again. So you were saying it was a setup and how you did this.
It was a setup. It was a setup. I mean, what do you want me to say?
I want to know, how are you going to sit here and tell people that I backboated you when you were on the trolling motor? How see now you see,
but at the time that you caught your fish, if you want to call it that, at the time you caught that,
at the time that I won. Okay, go ahead.
At the time you caught that creature, it was you were on the trolling mode.
I was not.
Yes, you were. I was trying to get my line on from being hung up where you hooked me up.
Oh, there's a problem. You know there's
What's
a
the
problem.
problem?
Right? You want to tell you what the problem is? Hold on, let me tell you what the problem is. Better yet, I don't need to explain it. Let me show you what the problem is. You know what the problem is?
What's the
video
problem?
Doesn't lie. How about that? So let me show you guys something. Where's Chicken Hawk at? Okay, there you go. Let me just drop this down real quick. Oh my God. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me pull this back up.
What?
We have a new sponsor of the live stream. Oh my God. We have LJ James Harmon coming in with a $50 super chat. Let me get on my job for a second, guys. So we had Joe Winkler. He came in with the 20. Gave him his shout out. He was the sponsor of the live stream. But LJ said, hey, hold up, swole up. Let me stop the show and put him to work. So what I say, guys, is whoever gives the largest super chat, super sticker each week during the live stream is the sponsor of the live stream. So right now, I have to hop in here and give credit where credit is due and change this banner. I didn't even get a chance to get to it, but we have James Harmon. All right, and this is with Lanier Baits. Let me go ahead and put this right in here. So we have James Harmon, LanierBaits.com. There we go, guys. So if you take a look at the bottom of the screen, that banner now says special thank you so much to the sponsor of the stream. James Harmon with lanierbaits.com. Make sure you guys go and check out lanierbaits.com. It is good to support your local tackle shops. You know, you got to make sure we keep the guys going. All right, so now that was a quick intermission. Let's get back to what we need to be talking about over here. So what I said was the video doesn't lie. Who is on the front of that boat right there?
But you're on a trolling motor.
No, I'm not on the trolling motor.
I'm over to the right a little bit.
Okay, hold on. Since you're having a problem seeing what is happening.
That's right. You see you on the trolling motor again?
Can you see that?
You're on the trolling motor.
I'm getting the screens adjusted for you. Where are you at now? So now I'm on the trolling motor.
You were on the trolling motor before.
No. So now let's just take a look and get to the part where you wanted to.
Now you finally gave me the trolling motor, and I'm working my way. I was working my way over to the spot where I knew that fish was going to be.
That's what you're doing.
That's what I was doing.
Okay, so you're working your way over to. Let's see. Look, I'm just sitting here cranking. I'm just minding my own business, just handling business. Let's just ease it on up here. Who
okay,
is
here it is. Just see.
Who is at the front of
this
the
is
boat?
what stop.
Who is at the front of the boat?
Because right before that, you were at the front of the boat where you got me hung up. And now I'm hung up.
Okay. I went back. Who was still at the front of the boat?
Wait, I had no. Go back a little bit further because I got hung up before that. Right?
Who is at the front of the boat?
Wait. Let it play. Now, because I'm not hung up yet, right?
We'll even speed it up for you. How about that? Who was still at the front of the boat?
Right. At this point, I was.
Who is at the front of the boat?
Let's speed it up a little.
Look, you're still at the front. Still at the front. Who is that at the front of the boat?
But I wasn't hung up yet.
Who is still at the front of the boat? Look at this. And who is laughing? Hold on a second. Who is this back here fishing from the middle of the boat, casting towards the back of the boat? This is you in the front. So let me ask you something real quick.
Ask.
Do you want to change your story?
No, I don't. Because
I still haven't been hung up video. You don't want, okay. All right. So let's see.
It goes a little bit further. And I think you take the front.
So when you got hung up, so look, this is where you got hung up at. You were at the front of the boat when you got hung up.
Let's see. Let me see if I get hung up.
So look, this is it. So right now,
I'm not hung up.
You are hung up.
I'm not hung up at this point.
Sir, look, okay. So now we're going. So now I'm on the front of the boat going to get this loose because I was hung up and you were hung up. So now I went over to get mine loose first. That's what you were seeing, but we're frozen on the right-hand side. But if you look on the left, you can see
that's part of the setup. I guess that was part of the setup.
Look, so now there we go.
You froze the evidence, sir.
No.
Because the evidence would be on the right. So
okay, watch. There we go. There we go. Now look, there you go. You are on the front of the boat. Now who's on the front? Now, hold on. So let's go ahead and add some audio for the people. They can hear. Here we go, guys. Listen,
okay, so this is terrible.
Hold on.
Prices okay now, Don Bart. Dang, even scoping, they're hoping. Scoping, they're hoping.
Who said that?
That was Don Barks. He said, dang, even scoping, they're hoping.
Oh, come on, Don. Who's on the front?
I'm on the front at this point.
Who's still on the front?
I'm on the front at this point. I got on the front after you actually hung me up.
You did? One of them knockers?
Okay, hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Oh, I thought I could zoom in on it. Okay, here we go, guys.
The bait is right there. You can see it. I can't see it.
You can see with your eyes.
You just gotta dip your rod now. Oh no! Oh no! No!
Okay, hold on, guys. Did you see him try to knock my rod out of my hand? I want you guys to watch what he did. He is on the front of the boat.
You just gotta dip your rod now. Oh no! Oh no! 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 He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
All right, so who was on the front of the boat?
I was on at that point. Yes, I was on at that point.
So now that everybody is, do you want to change your story yet? Do you want to say?
I do not, because the evidence is inconclusive, sir. The evidence is not as inclusive. I'm telling you, when I got hung up, you were at the front of the boat. You made a sharp move on my cast and got me hung up. Then you went back and I took the front of the boat, and then at that point we went over to your bait.
Okay.
And you drive because you drove over to your bait.
See, you freeze.
That's
you know
right.
why you're freezing up? Because your story is just not adding up.
You drove over to your bait.
Right. Yes, I took the boat and went and got mine loose. And then you got right back on the front. You were on the front.
Well, by that time, I was already hung up. You had hung me up. You had already hung me up. And then you pulled me way over there. And then at that point, I'm like holding myself, trying to get back. And then when you drive me back over there, I'm looking at the spot that I want to throw to. Fish. And then I'm trying to get untied. And then that's you throwing my spot and catch the fish.
In your spot.
In my spot. I was looking at the spot. That was the spot I go through. I told you I got the intuition. So that was the spot that I figured that there was going to be a fish. And I was going to throw over there. And you know about my cast ratio. But the thing is that, so if I would have thrown over there, I would have caught that fish. Guaranteed.
You had already thrown over there. You had already thrown over there several times. So
I did not throw over there, sir.
I want to know. I have a question for everybody. I want y'all to watch and see what happens, and let me know if this is good sportsmanship or bad sportsmanship. So in the chat, I want you guys to put good or bad. So good sportsmanship or bad sportsmanship. Now just watch how this whole thing goes down. First, you will see him try to knock my rod out of my hand so that I can't flip this fish to the boat. And then I want you to watch and see what he does next and tell me whether it is good sportsmanship or bad sportsmanship. All right, here we go, guys.
Man, I just had a
You did?
one of them knockers? One of these knockers over here. The bait is right there. You can see it. I can't see it. You can see with your eyes.
You just gotta dip your rod now. Oh no! Oh no! 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 He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
Oh. Now that was ugly. That was
yes, sir.
You came and knocked my fish out of my hand, trying to knock it back into the water. Now, in the chat, I want you guys to tell me, is that good sportsmanship or bad sportsmanship? First, he was trying to knock my rod out of my hand to stop me from flipping the fish to the boat. Then he knocked the fish and almost knocked it back into the water. NC Shooter says penalty. Fish hit the deck. Oh, wait a minute.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying.
NC Shooter, how are you going to give me a penalty when he knocked?
You let the fish hit the deck. You got to protect the fish, man.
Look at this. That's hawkmanship. That is exactly right. That is hawkmanship. Shout out to LJ. He is the sponsor of the live stream. Hit us up with a $50 super chat. Make sure you guys go and check out lanierbates.com. All right, so yeah, there he goes. He said that is hawkmanship. I can't believe it. NC Shooter, he's laughing, talking about I got the penalty. Let's see what are you guys saying. Nobody's saying whether it's good or bad sportsmanship, guys. Is that good or bad sportsmanship? He attacked me twice.
Look at Texas Noob.
Says that's the worst. He said,
he's
like
still mad. He's still mad
star.
because he's a Dallas fan. And look, he was taking that L. That's why T.O. ran out there. For the four, he was with the 49ers that time. He ran out there. So you can't take what Texas Noob said.
Let's see what John said. John said, at this point, at the whole point, more like, look at this, man. CT says, MoneyBass, he's the ghost of a co-angler's past.
Hey, man.
I mean, the video shows you on the front of the boat the whole time, and you've been sitting here telling people I was back boating you and all this stuff.
You did that.
How can I do that when I'm in the back?
You back boat me by getting me hung up. And then after you got me hung up, then you want to give me the front. And so at that point, I'm trying to get myself straight and subsequently holding you steady to make your cast and just concentrate. After we went got you unhooked.
Who believes this?
And then on top of that, exactly, any day. Any day
We're
gonna do that one again. We're gonna do that one again.
How about you meet me April 27th?
What's happening April 27th?
Hold on. I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. Hold on just a second. Let me show you where. And watch what he says, guys. Watch what he says. Hold on. Let me show you where. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Where is the drum roll?
Better not say Logan Martin.
Oh, let me find it. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me find it, guys.
Find it.
There we go. There we go. Boom.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh. You guys heard him. He said anytime. So what do we have here? On April 27th, guys, the 15th annual homecoming tournament for the Rob Benders Bass Club. This is an open tournament. First place is $10,000, guys. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. $10,000. This is an open tournament. Or seventh, it just depends on the number of boats. We're expecting around 150 boats, guys. $10,000 first place. Let's scroll down and take a look at the info. Open to all. Bring your own partner. Saturday, April 27th. You said anytime. Didn't you just say anytime?
I did say anytime.
Okay.
I did say anytime.
Okay. All right. Anytime. So how about this time? April 27th. All right. Entry fee is only $250, $250 per boat, but you are fishing for that $10,000 prize. So we did talk about, people wanting to go pro and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, what you got, Chicken Hawk? What you got? What do you have to say to your people? You just told them anytime. They heard you. They heard what you said.
We'll see.
The
problem.
What happened was.
But no, what had happened was this is not. It's not a heads up. So we both would have partners.
We can go solo. Cricket.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what we doing? What are we doing?
So you want to go solo? That's what you telling me?
What you think, chat? What do you think? You said anytime.
I'll be coming out. Actually, I have a
you think it's something? Wait a minute. I have a
no, you see what he said? I'm gonna be look, man, my legs are my back already hurt. I ain't got no time to carry this dude.
Oh my goodness.
I don't have the energy to be carrying this dude.
And now you got back problems.
No, because he said partner up. I said, if I partner up, I gotta carry you.
I mean, we might have to go ahead and let you run the trolling mode again, and then I do the same thing that just happened.
Oh man, please come on now. You don't believe that?
We have one person that finally responded and said bad sportsmanship. That was definitely bad sportsmanship.
I don't think so.
Oh my God, man.
They didn't see. They need to go back and watch the entire video, and they can see all the bad sportsmanship that happened before that little episode.
Well, Texas Noob said, Hawk, it's your chance to get some money and regain some respect. He says you need to regain some respect.
Look. Oh, we can do it now. Let's see. We'll work it out. We'll work something out.
All right, you guys heard it. All right, big shout out to LJ, the sponsor of the live stream. Hit us with the $50 super chat. Make sure you guys go and check out lanierbates.com, guys. So yeah. So we're gonna wait and see, huh? Let's see. Daniel says, wait till the 27th, Hawk. Then tell him you came down with the chicken flu and can't make it. It seems like they already know. They already know what's the answer.
There's no need to run. There's no running from you.
They already know what's going on. They know that this right here, this word, that big red print first place. They know you're allergic to that. So they like you're gonna have the chicken flu on that day.
Okay. Okay. But we're not going to talk about that you took me on your home lake, and your home lake literally right around the corner from your house.
What?
And you caught a dink.
I caught a win.
You caught a dink. That wasn't even a keeper.
Thank you very much.
Even a keeper. I thought you had a dog.
Sunrise Showdown says, dang, the Hawk, you hating, bro. Show up and out. I'm only hearing stuff, but not seeing stuff. He says, okay. I'm hearing, but I can't
keep your eyes open.
I can't
keep your eyes open.
I can't see anything.
Because when I destroy you, I'm telling you, it's all.
Wait a minute. What does that mean? What does that mean? You know what that means?
I don't think I know.
A W is a W. A W is a W. That's what that means. A win is a win.
So you got your little victory there. You got your little victory there.
So
even
though we're 3-0. You're 3-0 right now.
No, we're not. No, we're not. And I knew you were gonna do that. You already know, because first off, you set me up to come out there. And
the swine flu. Oh no. Look at them. They all say a win is a win. A win is a win.
What's up with all this, man? Get that. Look.
Shout out to Joe Winkler.
You set me up. But that's okay.
Listen, you're 3-0, buddy. First, we were doing the best out of it.
I like that. I am 3-0.
Yeah, you are 0. So, no. And we were doing the best out of 3. No, we were doing the best.
Because we said the first one was Neely Henry, and we haven't done the second one. We said that. We said the first one was Neely Henry, and you got more fish than me. I got the biggest fish, but so I would have won the big. I would have been, but we were going for the most fish, most weight. So you had more fish than I did. So you actually you beat me on Neely Henry, and we haven't run the second one because the second one was supposed to be on Logan Martin. That's what you said, but I know you keep skating. But I understand.
You picked Neely Henry over Logan Martin. If you picked that lake, how are you?
I'm not complaining about Neely Henry. I'm not complaining about losing that lake.
You just said that I tried to get away from Logan Martin. You're the one who changed the lake.
No, I went to Neely Henry to support.
Oh, you just happened to be there? Oh, I was
you knew I was going there to support a fellow club member.
So therefore, and the second one was supposed to be on Logan Martin, which you have been dodging.
Listen.
So
3-0, and we
so
were doing the best out of 3.
I don't know where you get this 3 from.
When we were at 2-0, we changed it to the best out of 5, so you would still have a chance.
I don't know
now, even if we do,
I don't know where you get the 2 from. I don't see where you're getting this from. It's 1-0. You got me out there for 1 hour and you caught a dink and you took your little dub right there. But like I said, when we going out and we're gonna fish a day like a regular tour, and then that's how we gonna do it. Like we did on Neely. You're gonna fish a day.
Okay.
So meet me on Logan Martin. Find out what's happening.
So now we changing it to Logan Martin.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, we could do another lake too. Well, I mean, we gotta do. Well, we'll probably have to do 3. Well, we're gonna do at least 3 more lakes because it's 1-0, and for me to win, it has to be 3-1. So we gotta fish at least 4 lakes. So we got 3 more lakes we gotta fish. That's the way I see it.
I don't know about that, man.
What you mean you don't know about that? Because you set me up. You put me on your boat. We don't even talk about that. I told you I wanted a shaky head, and you wouldn't give me the shaky head. You gave me the wacky. And what'd you catch them on? What'd you catch fish on? Shaky
head. See, what do I need to go back and pull the video up for everybody again? I let you pick all of the rods. You picked everything that went on that deck.
So I did.
Did you say you didn't?
No, what I said was
okay. So
I told you.
Listen, you pulled up all the rods that were on the deck, right? You named everything you wanted, and I lined them all up on the deck. At the very beginning of the video, I say that, and I point to each one of them.
It's right. And you try to hide the Alabama rig, but I found it.
And how did that work out?
We're not going to talk about that, all right? But see, I caught you in that one. And that's why you were trying your best to get it out of my hand. Because that's what you figured you were going to catch your little fish on, Alabama rig over with in that little deep spot. But that's why I wouldn't let it go. Now, when we moved to, I told you, I said, shaky head or wacky. I said, and it depends on how it's playing as to which one I'm going to want to use. And you took the shaky head. So you put me in a bad situation. There you go. Tell them about it, Pat. Pat knows I'll get jiggy with it on you over there.
All right, so we'll do Logan Martin. Let's see. Sunrise Showdown says, I like the hawk. That's why I got to pick at him. He can fish, but he needs to step it up because he is behind on count.
I am behind on count. That's okay. And he's right. I am.
Hey, man. Got set up.
I did get set up, man. Everybody knows it. They know what you do, man. They know it. I'm exposing you. I am exposing you. So therefore, like I said, we get out there, it's gonna be on. I'm taking over this channel, and I'm gonna redirect it. I think I'm gonna change the background when I take it over.
I know one thing you can't change is those right there.
What? Oh no! That little bit of trouble you went to the story bar.
Yeah,
that's what you want to talk to me about.
And look, and you pay for them. Oh yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do.
Don't make me go get my plaques now.
Plaques.
I got a bunch of them. You know that.
Steph, go see what had happened was what had happened. let me tell you what had happened. So, and I know you don't want to count what happened to you at Gunnersville.
Why you keep bringing that up? I wasn't doing anything.
Your home lake.
It's not my home lake because I haven't really been fishing.
Oh, well, you've been living on Lake Gunnersville for about 7 years.
I don't live on Gunnersville. Like, you literally live on the lake.
And then
if you step in your backyard, you actually might get your feet wet. And so it's a shame that you don't come off with more weight than you do on that lake. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Like if I had a ditch in my front yard, I come out with crawfish all the time because it's my front yard. Do you understand? So, what are you trying to bring up?
What are you talking about?
What are you doing? This is another setup, I'm sure.
What do you mean a setup, man? We're just having a conversation. Two fishing buddies having a conversation.
Show me.
Bam.
Wait, when was this?
What is? Wait a minute. Hold.
Oh.
What is that?
See, they were talking about you then, probably.
Hold on. Wait a second. Who is that? Wait, who is who is that right there? Who is this guy? Hold on. Before y'all see what just happened, let me just back it up just a little bit right here. What was that just came on the screen? What does that say right there? Oh. Now,
number 2, shake his hand. He told me that. Hercules, he told me that. You do two things. You shake his hand or say, hey, I'm number 1.
Oh my God. What does that say? That says Lake Gunnersville. That's the one that you saying didn't happen.
I did not say anything about Gunnersville.
I told you it's 3-0, and you said no, it's not.
Because that
Gunnersville, Neely Henry, and Lanier. You picked Neely Henry over Logan Martin, but we can still show
this. I noticed you don't show the Sinclair video. I noticed you don't show the
I haven't uploaded that yet. But I did go out there and
you're right.
I did go out there and get some hogs.
You won't show the what was that the other video down south.
See, look, Mike says he says money is a humble guy. That's right. I'm just over here minding my own business. Just minding my own business. And next thing I know, somebody comes to try to bust me in the back of the head, knock my fish out of my hand. I'm just like, hey, buddy, can we just be friends? He's like, no, look at that. Look at this right here, guys. Look how he did me. Look at that. What? Look at that.
Number 2, shake his hand.
Did you see the aggression? Did you see the hostility? Look at my hand. Look at what I'm doing. Do you see?
Number 2, shake his hand.
That is assault. I was about to press charges.
Because you were coming up there with some foolishness.
Oh my God. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on.
What?
Wait a second. Let's stop the show. What did John just say? He says, now, Hawk said, give me that wacky. I remember. Now, what do you have to say? He remembers.
No. What I said was, I did say,
give me that wacky. And he put it in quotes. He probably went and watched the video back. So are you sure that because what you say should actually match what people are seeing. So you said, give me that wacky.
Okay.
With that New Orleans accent, give me that wacky. I can't do the accent, but you heard. Give me that wacky.
I said that I either need the wacky or and the shaky head. And I did say at some point, okay, give me the wacky.
But I said I want to start. I need to see the setup. And when I got there, I saw the setup, and it was set up better for a shaky head.
Wait a minute, Mike Deal, whose side of you? Oh, Mike, yeah, Mike was out there rooting for you. You made him lose some money. Mike put his money
Don't worry
on
about
you.
it. Hey, it's just like I put in the chat. It's just like pool, y'all, baby. Sometimes you let them win early on. They get the little thing up. Once they up the price, then you send them home crying. That's the plan.
Well, look, all right, guys. So you guys heard it. Logan Martin. We're gonna set up Logan Martin, and I'll let you guys know. Unless he changes the lake again,
I'm not gonna change.
And then tries to put it on me.
I'm not gonna change.
All right.
This is personal.
Why can't we
just
be
friends?
Why can't we just be friends?
We can't. We can't.
All right, guys. So look, we've been rolling for over 2 hours, so I'm about to head on out. Want to give a big shout out to CT. He said he was first in, been a member for 3 months. Big shout out to CT. Very strong supporter of the channel. And of course, we had Joe Winkler. Oh, yeah. Gotta hit the horns for Joe Winkler. He says, great guest tonight. Have to watch Mikey's love to watch Mikey's videos. Yeah, so big shout out to Mikey Balzz guy. Really, you know what? And I forgot to ask him, how did he get that name? Because it doesn't really sound like his name goes with the fishing industry. It sounds like he's in some other type of industry by the name. But big shout out to Mikey Balzz. Really appreciate him for coming on the show. All right. And also a very, very big shout out to the sponsor of the live stream, guys. I want to give a big shout out to LJ, James Harmon over at lanierbaits.com, guys, doing great things in the community. Make sure you go and support your local tackle shops. Go to lanierbaits.com. Let them know MoneyBass sent you. All right. So anything you want to say to your people in closing, Chicken Hawk?
Keep watching. That's all I got to say. Because I'm going to destroy you. And look, let me tell you, every live stream you do from now until we go to Logan Martin, you need to do it like it's your last time ever. Because it's going to end for you this year.
Why do you keep threatening me like
I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you how to live life. You gotta live life to the fullest. You see what I'm saying?
You've assaulted me twice on camera. You've assaulted me twice on camera, and now you threatening my life.
All I was gonna do now, I will say, which I'm surprised you didn't say it as many times as you watched the video. Like Mikey said, who could watch themselves multiple times? He didn't know he was talking to somebody that could. But as many times as you watch that video, you didn't catch what I said when I was reaching over there.
What were you saying?
I was trying to get the mass bass Ted to give me a knife so I could cut your line. You didn't hear me say, give me a knife.
Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. We're going to close on out on that note. We've been running for 2 hours. Make sure you guys tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Really appreciate the guests that have come up on the show. Shout out to Mikey Balzz and everybody that came up, had a question or comment. And I guess a shout out to Chicken Hawk. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next live stream.
All right.